Hi YouTube. I wanted to post a little bit of video from a recent trip that we took down to Palm Beach. While we were there, we heard about a bridge called Blue Heron Bridge. It's actually in the town of Riviera, Florida. So on day 2, we decided to check it out. It was listed, I believe the facts were like 2013. It was listed as like one of the #1 spots to dive, and as far as I'm concerned, I think it still is. It was way worth it. This is just starting out. Now keeping in mind this is all from the shore. It's a small park. The park is called Phil Foster State Park. It's right off of Blue Heron Blvd. You pull down in there. There's Sheriff's Department. I think the fire department's there. There's a small dive shop that's located there. Lots of parking. There's some pretty big boat ramps for boat launch. Lots of parking for that. It's a great park. Definitely suggest checking it out if you're down in that area. So anyhow, we'll go through the footage here, have a look. We've seen some various different amounts of fish. These little guys here, there were just thousands upon thousands of them swimming around. They were actually neat to watch. As predator fish, there was a couple small barracudas you'll see later in the video that come through. You could see how they would zigzag and swirl and kinds of neat things, just trying to avoid the predator fish. There's also some spotted stingrays I got some video of. One crazy looking fish that I didn't realize it was a fish until it moved. I was watching a diver take pictures of it, and he signaled me to come down and pointed it out for me. And then the reef structures, of course. There's several different reef structures, concrete reef structures that were dropped a long time ago, I think back in the 90s by Boy Scouts, things like that. There's also a couple of sunken boats that are out here that are part of the little reef structures and whatnot. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the video footage of them because my camera had died at some point in time, and honestly, I just didn't feel like going back to shore and back to the truck to get another battery, so I just kind of called it quits. But some of the other locals in the area, they said that the visibility of this water right here now was actually bad this day. They said that it's usually a lot more pristine conditions. I would love to see that, so maybe someday we'll take another little trip back down. Anyhow, enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. If you have any comments, post them below. Questions, post them also. I'll try to get to them. So here's the diver that I was telling you about. Kind of swam over and was watching him take pictures and waved at him. He waves back at me and then it's like, oh, hey, come down here. So after I swam down, got positioned, was able to see this fish here. I'm not even sure what it is. I've been trying to find out exactly what it is. I'm really not flipping off the camera, I promise. It's strapped to the back of my arm, so I don't know what that was. So here he is right here. Look carefully, you can see his fin on the back and dorsal fin on the top and whatnot. He was just laying there the whole time, didn't seem to mind us intruding his little home. So after checking him out for a minute, I went on and left the diver to do his photographing. I came across this fish, and if you look carefully there at that hole, you can watch. I'm assuming it's probably a female. She would go in, grab mouthfuls of sand, bring back out, and spit little clouds of dirt. It was great watching this. Then I seen another one come by that looked like, you know, maybe a male or something like that. So possibly a nesting spot. But watching this, it kind of gives you a whole new appreciation for what these little guys do underneath the water, and you know, by disturbing them, it's like one step in the wrong place, and you just destroyed hours, easily hours worth of work that this poor fish has done. And here's one of the small barracudas swimming along, minding his own business, so I figured I would go along and mind my own business. came across my friend Graham here. He apparently found somebody's diver's knife on the bottom. It's a rather large knife. Never found anybody looking for a knife, so I couldn't return that. So we just brought that on home. I don't know what I'll do with it. I'm not even sure what brand it is to get another case for it. And at this point, I came across another friend, Tammy, who stumbled across the first spotted stingray. That's what she's doing over there. She's videoing. And then I'll catch up here in just a second and shoot a quick video of it myself. This was another find. Apparently a dive instructor had dropped one of his slates, wrapped tape around it, so he could, I guess, put some permanent marking on there, or more permanent marking for a night dive. So, same situation. Never found the owner of that either. I stumbled across either another spotted ray or possibly the same spotted ray. There's just so much sea life in this small area that it's hard to tell. And this is one of the concrete reef structures in the area. There's different shapes, sizes. I'm assuming the different organizations, like I said, Boy Scouts. I've seen a sign for Boy Scouts. I've seen another sign on one of them that said something else. I couldn't quite read who it was, or it could even be just time frame difference. As you can tell, this is a popular spot. Lots of divers come in. That was one of the things that a local had told me. Basically, when you dive this area, they say it's best to dive the area 30 minutes prior to and 30 minutes after high tide. The reason for that is anything on the other times, the water gets pretty murky, pretty dark. It's very hard to see anything then. So whenever you plan a trip to the park, it's best get there substantial amount of time prior to high tide, whether it be in the morning, afternoon. Park fills up very fast. One dive shop owner told me that, you know, you kind of have to watch some of the other people that arrive there, because then they start feuds and battles and fights over parking spots and basically act like children. So get there early, find your spot, set up. You've got, you know, activity you can do. You can go swimming down on the edge. There is a section that's tied off for just swimming, snorkeling, that sort of thing. Or bring some food, have a picnic, and wait for, like I said, about that 30-minute mark before high tide. You know, jump into the water, get yourself geared up, get ready to go, and then, you know, the water clears up fairly fast, and get the dive on. Then after that 30-minute mark passed, you'll actually start seeing it change to where it starts getting a little bit more murky. We didn't stay too long past that. We were probably in the water maybe an hour past high tide. It was 8:24 that morning. And here's a little crab here that's made his little tracks along. And just beyond the crab to the top of the screen up there, you can see this little fish. Another little guy's got him a little hole, and I don't know, he's an odd little fish. I haven't seen anything like that before. He got a little spooked when I come across him, and he dropped back down inside the hole. If you watch the hole for a second, you can kind of see him poke up, see me, and drop back down. So here's a picture of the actual park itself. The parking being at the top, and then the swim area and the diving area all down below. You can find it just by doing a search for the Blue Heron Bridge, and it'll pop up. So anyhow, thanks for watching. Like I said earlier, appreciate a subscription if you want. Love questions, love comments, things like that. And good diving to you. Take care.